and good afternoon. I hope we are all okay. This is Pastor Wilson, and today is a Wednesday, and just want to thank God for His grace that keeps giving us strength, that keeps sustaining us. Psalm 55 verse 22. We thank God who sustains us by His grace. And so, and there's a booklet that was written by a pastor. It's called Sustained by Who He Is. Yeah, and so it's just having that thought on my mind. And so I just want to encourage all of you and to remind you of our conference that is coming up in April, again 23rd to the 27th. Please mark somewhere, and let's be here together. Make sure you do not miss 23rd to 27th of April. We will have the medical camp on the 24th. It will be a Thursday. You are all welcome. Yeah, you are there. You have a health issue. You are welcome. On that day, there's going to be free treatment and checkup. So just come and inform your friends, your relatives, those you know that are not well. Amen. And so just a brief thought this afternoon from Hebrews chapter 4 verse 15, and then from verse 14 up to verse 16. It says, Hebrews chapter 4 says, seeing then that we have a great high priest who has passed through the heavens. And who is this great high priest? It says, Jesus, the Son of God. It says, let us hold fast our confession. Let us hold fast our confession. Some versions have our profession. For we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses, but was in all points tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. But I want to look at verse 14 and verse 15. We have a great high priest, and we know the role of the high priest. When we look at the Old Testament, we know when we read and we see what the high priests used to do. You had the chief priest, but then you have the high priest. Yeah, he had certain roles that he played, very important roles. Yeah, he would be the one to go into the Holy of Holies, and he would be the one to represent the people. Yeah, he would go into the Holy of Holies and offer sacrifices. Yeah, and pray. Yeah, meet God there, inside there. Yeah, definitely not face to face, but be in the presence of God. Yeah, and so Jesus, he says, Jesus, the Son of God, is the great high priest. He's greater than those high priests. Yeah, and I think it is a wonderful thing. There's a peace and rest it creates in me or in someone, if you know that you cannot approach someone, maybe they're of a higher position or they're high in authority. You know that you cannot approach this person, but having someone who can approach them for you, there's a sense of peace and rest it creates in you. That you know that, okay, I can talk to this person, and I know this person will be able to convey my whatever message it is. Yeah, and so this should also be what? This should also be in us as children of God. We have Christ, who is the great high priest, and we are sure, very sure, that he's able to, in other words, fulfill the roles and duties of a high priest. Yeah, before God the Father, he is praying, he is interceding. Yeah, he's advocating. Yeah, and we are very much sure that, of course, Jesus can never fail in that role. Yeah, So that's why he's called the great high priest. Yeah. And so he says, let us hold fast our what? Our confession, our profession. And verse 15 says, we do not have a high priest who cannot sympathize with our weaknesses. This great high priest, he sympathizes with our weaknesses. Why? Because he was tempted in all points as we are now. Yeah, he went through whatever. There's nothing that is new that we are going through that Christ never went through. The anguish, the sorrow, the pain, the disappointment, the rejection, the hurt that we all have. Christ went through that. Yeah, and he was tempted in what? He says in all points. There's nothing new. There's nothing in the human flesh that we are going through that is alien, or like is alien to Jesus Christ, that he never went through. Yeah, he was what? He was tempted in all points. Yeah, but it says yet without sin. At times, of course, we are disappointed, we are rejected, and that leads us to do what? That leads us to sin. It leads us to fail. You know, someone maybe angers you or causes something to happen in your life, and that turns you now begin to have these thoughts in your mind. Okay, what can I do to this person? In other words, you are angry at someone. Yeah? You even Jesus says, Matthew 5. I mean, if you are angry at your brother for no reason, and that is hate. Yeah, and so there are thoughts that begin to come, but we have a great high priest who went into all that, and he sympathizes with us. He sympathizes with us. We were hearing our pastor talking about the enemies that surround us. Yeah, Christ at one point he was what? Surrounded. Remember in his arrest, in his the trials at the cross, he was surrounded by the enemies. The devil was there. Yeah? But what is he saying here? That even when we are surrounded, Jesus also was in that kind of environment where he was surrounded. But he says, verse 16, come boldly. Even when we are surrounded, still come boldly, yeah, to the throne. Come boldly to the throne of grace. And then we will obtain mercy, and then we will find help. Yeah, we'll find help because we need help. Yeah. If we are surrounded by enemies that we cannot see, enemies that yes we see, but then those that we do not see, we need what? We need help. Yeah. There's no one that does not need help. So we will find grace, we'll obtain mercy, we will find grace to help in time of need. So Christ, the great high priest, he prays for us. Says God like he prays and says, God the Father, there is this person, he is surrounded. Yeah, he is surrounded, and we can give grace, we can give mercy, is there mercy for him? Is there grace? Let us give grace for him. Let us give grace to sustain this person as they are surrounded. Yeah. And so that is the great high priest that we have. Yeah. Amen. Amen. And so tonight we have a service. For those of you that can make the service, you are very much welcome. It begins at 6 p.m. Until 8 p.m. So you are so welcome. May God bless you.